so excited to be back with you today talking about a subject that is near and dear to my heart, and that is the importance of having your personal leadership team. So the question I have for you is, do you know what one is? And do you have one? Do you have a personal leadership team that is intentional for you and your life and the areas that you want to grow? If not, today is for you. If you do already, hopefully you'll pick up a few additional items today that maybe will help you to dive deeper into using that leadership team to help propel you in this new year. So today we're going to talk about the importance of that personal leadership team. We're going to talk about how to define them and that they can help you in these specific areas you want to grow, and also creating healthy boundaries for others in your life, along with, of course, 4 steps for you to get started right. So when I think about personal leadership team, it actually brings me back to a church leadership team meeting that we were having in the early days of a newly planted church. We had a new lead pastor, and my husband and I were blessed to be part of the leadership team of the church, and we were listening to him in this meeting explain what he believed his definition of the role for the church leadership team was. And part of what he went through was, of course, just helping to define the goal and the role for this team, because we all needed to know what was our purpose, what were we doing there, and how were we going to help and serve. And he made it really, really clear that he was an imperfect human being, number one. But number 2, that he absolutely had the personality style that was, hey, I see something, I'm visionary, I want to just go after it, and that he needed people who would be willing to say, hang on a minute, wait, have you thought about this, that, or the other thing, right? And he knew himself well enough to know that engaging other people and asking questions of other people and hearing their responses was wise. Right? That he needed a leadership team that had a variety of different people on it that would have different voices and different opinions so that he could take them into consideration under advisement, right? But ultimately, he was going to be the decision maker. So I am building this leadership team of people who I know will speak truth. They'll bring a variety of different opinions and wisdom to the table, experience to the table. And ultimately, I get to take the culmination of that input and make my own decision as the lead pastor, right? That's what he was saying is, I absolutely respect and appreciate your input. That's why I want you here. I believe you have experience in this area of ministry and life, and this is how you can help serve the team and me, right? Because I have to be sure that I am making decisions with a holistic approach to the church, right? I need to be considering all different aspects, so I need to have different voices. I so appreciated that of him and that meeting. And he was consistently drawing from all of us varying opinions before he was making decisions. I think that is a great mark of maturity and wisdom to, number 1, not believe, I don't have all the answers, right? Do you have all the answers? I know I don't. I know I've said it before, and I'm probably going to repeat it multiple times. I feel like the older I get, the less I know. So being around other people who I know have more experience than I do, who I know are smarter than I am, who are better at different things than I am, I can draw upon their wisdom and their experience in my life so that I too can grow. That is the definition of a leadership team, is surrounding yourself with those people who, by the way, they don't look exactly like you, right? And they shouldn't. They're not going to have, you're not just looking for people to agree with you. You don't want a whole bunch of yes men, yes women on your personal leadership team. I call these people my 10 percenters. Now, look, some of you know me personally well, others don't know me well at all. I'm here to tell you that I can be stubborn. It's just a reality. It's one of my things that I continue to work on daily, sometimes many times a day. But I definitely have the desire to grow in that area, right? I have to have people in my life who have the ability to say to me, hey, Carrie, I need you to check yourself on this, because I think that might just be something that you want to be right about, but maybe you need to examine that a little bit further, or maybe there's a different perspective, right? These people come to me in telling me things that maybe I don't want to hear, but I absolutely need to hear them in order to grow into the person, the leader, the wife, the mother that I want to be, right? I have to be willing to share where it is I know I fall short and ask them to speak into my life, right? With grace and truth. So if you have a whole bunch of people in your life right now who never challenge or question you or put you in a position where you're having to think, like I joke with my coach, and I too, as a coach, will tell people this on occasion. If I'm not rubbing you the wrong way every once in a while, then we're probably not doing really good work, right? Because if we're just showing up and it's all sunshine and roses all of the time and everybody's agreeing with you and there's never any challenge to your thinking and or your behavior, then where is the growth, right? So make sure that those people that you select to speak into your life aren't just those who are going to lay down and agree with you, right? So we've all heard the expression that who you hang out with is who you become, right? And I don't know about y'all, but I have 7 kids, 5 of whom are grown and gone. And thank God we all lived through the teenage years. And we've got 2 more that are moving into that teenage year this coming year. So pray for us that we make it through those final 2 as well. But whether you are a parent who has raised teenagers or you've been a teenager yourself, I'm certain you can connect to this reality. When we hang out with different people, our behaviors tend to mirror them, right? So as a parent of teenagers, I can remember my husband and I talking with frequency about who they're hanging out with, what friends' houses they're going to, what type of behavior and or activities that those friends participated in, because we knew as parents that, you know, if your kids are hanging out with people that are doing well academically, or they're hanging out with people who are doing well in sports, whatever your objective may be as a parent, right? You want your kids to be healthy and happy and safe and growing in maturity. If they're hanging around with people from a faith community, they're likely to be more involved in the word, in church, in academics, in sports. Who you hang out with definitely impacts your behaviors, and your behaviors have a direct impact on your results in life, right? So we know that if you're hanging out with the kids who are studying consistently, you're likely to produce better grades. Those grades are likely to produce scholarships, are likely to produce college acceptance letters, those types of things, if that's something that's important to you with your teenager, right? We know that as parents. As teenagers, we were told that all the time. Be careful who you hang out with, or your parents are questioning it. It's annoying when you're a teenager, right? As a parent, you begin to get it. Somewhere along the way, this veil of delusion was dropped that once you graduate from high school, those things go away, and that it no longer matters who it is you hang out with. And I'm not sure if it just happens suddenly like that, and if it's a slow fade, right? I'm not sure. Again, a whole lot I don't know. But what I do know is I work with a whole lot of adults who haven't thought about this with any level of intention. They haven't thought about who they hang out with and how they're speaking into their lives and how it's making a positive or negative impact, because they're just going through the motions of doing life on a daily basis. And I don't know if that speaks to you or it doesn't, but I think that a lot of us, I know I can look at seasons of my life where it was get up, go to work, feed the kids, take care of the lawn, do this stuff, go to bed, wake up. It's Groundhog Day, right? Every day you're getting up and you're doing life over again, and you're just in the midst of doing it without actually considering planning for it and being intentional about growth. And the reason we did the episode that we did at the start of the year around life planning is because that has been given very, very little consideration for most people. And if you are not planning your own life, you are fulfilling somebody else's plan for theirs, right? So I just want you to be real intentional about thinking about who it is you're hanging out with, what it is that they bring to the table, what you bring to the table for them, and whether that's positive. From a helping you grow perspective, I have long held the belief that if you want to grow, you need to find somebody who's a few steps ahead of you, somebody that you can look at and say, hey, they have achieved what it is I want to achieve. And then asking that person, right, if they'll help. Most people have a desire absolutely to give back what they have learned from, right? Most people that you encounter, if you would say to them, hey, I see that you've accomplished this and I'm struggling in this area. I'd really like to hear how you got to where it is you are. The people you want to emulate, they would be happy to share with you how they got there. Now it stands that some of these people will be people that you talk to regularly. Some of them may be people that you look to from afar, that you follow what it is they're doing on social media, that you feed yourself with what it is they're doing, what it is that they're saying. It may be an intentional relationship, as in a coaching relationship. It could be a mentorship with somebody at church. I think about matching up these people and seasons and reasons. And I think about, for example, wanting to become a more prayerful wife, right? A faith-filled wife who serves my husband well. And I think about this example of, I'm not going to go out and seek wisdom from somebody who's never been married, right? To help me with that area of my life. However, that person who's never been married may absolutely have achieved success in another area of life that I would love to hear from them about. You need to just make sure that you're matching up the wisdom you're obtaining from people that have experienced where it is that you want to go and grow. So the first step is defining where you want to grow. And the second step is matching up the who to that. Who do you have in your world? Back to that initial thinking process. What attributes did those people have? What experiences did those people have that you could draw upon from them? But you also need to, in tandem, work on creating healthy boundaries for the others in your life. And this lends to, I'm not for a moment saying to cut off relationships with people in your life that you are an important lifeline for them. That is not at all what I'm saying when I'm about to tell you what I am. However, it's really important that you do look at the people that you're surrounding yourself with and whether or not they are bringing you up or tearing you down, right? If you've got people in your life who are absolutely tearing you down, you can see it, they are a negative force in your life, then you need to diminish the amount of time that you're spending with those people. And this is just one of those truth moments, right? There are people in our lives who you know who they are. They're the ones that every time you talk to them, they don't have anything positive to say. They are a complete drain. Every time they call you, it's because they need something or they want to complain about something. There's just nothing positive that they have to say. Those people, in as much as they may need you to be a positive force in their lives, you need to find a way to diminish the amount of time that you're spending with them. I know I've referenced it before, but it sticks in my mind, and I don't recall where I learned it from, but it was 3-minute people, 3-hour people, and 3-day people. Those people that you want to emulate, right? You want to spend days with those people. You get energized by them. You find yourself thinking, you find yourself actually growing in their presence. Your thought processes are different. You want to spend more time with those people. The 3-hour people, right? You want to have dinner with them. You want to enjoy conversation with them. You're absolutely feeling like, hey, this is a reciprocal relationship where we're all growing together. And then there are 3-minute people who you absolutely need to minimize your time with, because spending extra time with them will actually take from you, right? In a negative way. So make sure that you're paying attention to that, paying attention to who those people are in your life and how it is they are serving the greater purpose of you growing and learning in your life. While also, again, there's time for giving back, right? You got to give back and serve others as well. When we think about implementation of, hey, a board of directors, oftentimes people are like, well, so like, what does that mean? Do I pick up the phone and call somebody and say, hey, I want you to join my personal leadership team? And that might be a little odd, right? But there's nothing wrong with picking up the phone and calling somebody and saying, hey, I was listening to this podcast the other day, and they talked about having a personal board of directors or a personal leadership team. And as I was thinking through it, I thought about you. And I'm wondering if you would be willing to share with me. I'm wondering if you would be willing to be in a consistent check-in with me, right? I'm wondering if once a month we could just connect for coffee. I wonder if once a month we could just connect by phone. I wonder if once a week we could connect. It depends on the person you're talking to, right? But you've got to ask the question and state, this is an area that I'm looking to grow in my life, and I feel like you might be able to help me with that as I look to you as an example of somebody who's done well with that, right? Most people absolutely would be willing to help. So make that list of people you wish to emulate in your life and the why. Reach out to them and have that conversation. Tell them that you're grateful, for who they've been in your life or for the example that they show. Third, be intentional about scheduling that time with them. Again, once a month, once a week, whatever it might be. And then repeat that for those different areas. Now, we talked about life plan and we said, hey, we're going to identify 1 to 3 things. Maybe there's 3 different areas in your life. So maybe there are 3 different people. Maybe there are 2 different areas in your life and you need perspective from 3 or 4 different people. Whatever that looks like for you, again, wherever you are today, just take that next step. Maybe it's one person. Maybe you've never had an intentional mentor before and you just need to reach out to somebody and say, hey, I need some help. I've long believed that those 3 words, I need help, are some of the most difficult words in our English language. However, they're also some of the most important. And by the way, we all need help on this journey. It truly does take a village. And I bet if you reach out to those people on your list that you'd like to emulate, you'll find that they would welcome you with open arms. I look forward to hearing how things go with your personal leadership team. Talk to you soon.